Actually, it's not a book so much on just Maria Callas, despite its title, as it is the story of a whole epic of opera, the 50s, particularly La Scala. I think the Opera House comes out as much a part of this story as Callas's because it was her artistic home. But it's a story about how she changed, revolutionized, made opera quite different. It just wasn't the same animal when she got through with it. She restored the meaning of the word prima donna. She restored a whole area of repertory that had been lost to us. You know as well as I the great years that she had here. Dallas, for instance, was the only city in America to see her in Medea. And she made several visits here in which we did many interviews. And there was the presence here in town of Larry Kelly, without whom this book couldn't have been written, because I bounced many ideas off of him. We talked many aspects of her career and her influence out together. And I think it would have been more difficult had I been outside of Dallas actually to do the book. I think her influence was to make people more aware of musical values and to sing more for expression and not just for display or show off. Uh, she, Music was not always our musicians. Let's put it this way: opera singers were not always musicians before Callas, and I think that it was the musical aspect of her which appealed to younger singers and made them more conscious of their musical possibilities within opera. She certainly set a standard that it's going to be hard to ignore and that everyone is going to try to emulate. She's a great arranger. Concerts this spring. You probably went through the one here in Dallas with the rest of us. They were a great disappointment to me. However, she's doing the same concerts now in the Orient, and she promised the Japanese that she'd return and sing Tosca there next year, which of course was the role of her last stage appearance in the United States at the Metropolitan Opera in March 1965. I only hope the Japanese aren't holding their breath because whether or not she will have the courage and the stamina to return to a full opera performance, I don't know. Original. I think she's news in the sense that Elvis Presley is always news, Van Cliburn is always news, the Beatles are. They're great, great originals, which through by chemistry or personality or what have you, captured the imagination of the public in a way that they can't lose it. I don't think what any of these people do will ever lose them the affection or interest of the public. Look at Garbo today. After how many years of not making a film, uh, anything she does today is front page. Callas is the same way. There was just nothing like her before and nothing like her since. You know, of course, about